But I desperately wanted to get this right. It's incredibly important to me that I give you my very best. And I racked my brain trying to figure out how I could get my point across to you. If I had a child or a teenager, they would most likely be normal. What I have isn't genetic, so I couldn't give it to my child. So I would have to teach my child how to treat other disabled people. Now I don't have children, but it dawned on me to teach you the same way that I would teach my own teenager. There's a very deep need to fit in as a teenager. I know this to be true because I was once a teenager, a long time ago, and I didn't fit in. Like some of you, I didn't have a good home life. I was abused as a child. Mentally, physically, psychologically, and sexually. I was placed in a special education class when I started grade school. Just because I was different. Because I couldn't talk, I couldn't walk, and I moved my arms and legs differently. Nobody took the time to find out if I could make it in a regular class. So I remained in special ed for 3 years. I aced every subject, and I was literally bored to death. A lot of times, it takes adults way too long to learn something that young people would pick up a whole lot quicker. It took 3 years for adults to understand that I was capable of being in a regular class. And I was a great student until the 6th grade. I went to middle school and started hanging out with the wrong crowd. Now I wasn't a bad child, but I didn't belong anywhere. I wasn't accepted by any group. Like a lot of good kids who don't look a certain way, I turned bad. I stopped doing any homework. I stopped doing classwork. I became self-centered. I didn't care about anything or anyone but myself. I became disrespectful, ungrateful, and hateful. The only place where I even halfway fit in was with juvenile delinquents. Young people who lied, cheated, and stole their way through their lives. I would lie, cheat, and steal, sometimes even worse than they did. And I got away with it because I'm disabled, because I'm handicapped, because I apparently didn't know any better. I knew exactly what I was doing, and I knew I could get away with it. Now the question begs to be asked, what was the real reason for me becoming such a little criminal? Like I said, it was partly because I didn't fit in anywhere else. When a child, or an adult for that matter, doesn't fit in, when they are rejected, made fun of, and abused, that person, many times, becomes very angry. They seek revenge on the world that has rejected and forsaken them. Many of them end up behind bars because that's the only place they feel like they belong. It makes me angry at how people treat me. Like really angry. Fortunately for me, I found a way to channel my anger, and I found a way to change the way I'm seen as a person and how other people with disabilities are seen. People see me as a retard. People see me as dumb, as someone who doesn't really understand what's going on around me. Why is that? Because of the way I look and what that represents. People may misjudge you for some of the same reasons. What people don't understand is that I didn't ask to be born like this. It wasn't my choice to be in a wheelchair, to be laughed at, disrespected, or ignored. Now, am I ashamed to be in a wheelchair? Am I ashamed to have a disability? Do I apologize because I'm so different? Absolutely not. Am I proud of who I am? You better believe it. It took me over 30 years to realize that it doesn't matter what other people think about me. I can be proud of who I am regardless of what other people think. I understand what I'm worth. I understand that I can help other people. I understand that my life is just as important as anyone else's. And now I can change things. I can make things better for myself, for fellow people with disabilities, and for people with disabilities who come after me. Okay, I want everyone to wake up, sit up straight, and listen closely. Because I'm about to tell you two of the most important things you will ever hear in your entire lives. Your life is the most valuable possession you will ever own. And you have to take ownership of your life. Contrary to what some people might tell you, your life belongs to nobody but you. I've given this speech to 2 other high schools already. And I'm going to tell you something that I didn't tell them. I haven't ever told anyone, for that matter, not even my own wife. Life is going to throw you some hard choices. Maybe it has already. That's what life is about. A series of choices. And all too often they are hard choices. Most times, you'll have one of 2 options. And both will have their own advantages and disadvantages. And both will have consequences. Consequences that sometimes are unbelievably heavy. Choices you probably aren't ready to make. It happened to me. I was not too much older than you. I was dating a girl who also had my disability, cerebral palsy. So we looked very similar. We were both in wheelchairs. We both moved the same way. We both couldn't talk straight. So when people saw us together, they thought we were just a match made in heaven. We were cuter than a box full of puppies. Everyone thought we should get married and live happily ever after. And for a while, I did too. This girl was absolutely crazy about me. I mean, like, holy crap, crazy. She believed that I was the only man for her, ever. And that if I left her, she would be alone for the rest of her life. And I don't know what happened. I guess I started questioning what I wanted. I started questioning what I was supposed to do, or what everybody thought I should do. I had to ask myself what I wanted out of my life. I had to ask myself if I would be satisfied, fulfilled, happy with this girl. I could not answer yes. Remember, I said most choices in life have one of 2 options. I could choose to stay with her, fulfill her life, look cute together, and make people smile when they see us together. It would have been a very easy life. The federal government would have taken care of us for the rest of our lives. It would have been a very safe, comfortable, uneventful life. But I wouldn't have been satisfied. I would have always wondered if I could have had more out of my life, if I could have had more adventure, if I could have met someone who was a better fit for me. Or I could choose to leave her. I could choose to take a chance at finding someone who would challenge me. I could choose to put myself first, and by doing so, ruin her life. So like I said, 2 options. Fulfill someone else's life, or fulfill mine. How do I make that kind of decision? Do I sacrifice my life to fulfill the life of someone else? Or do I choose to ruin the life of someone else in order to fulfill my own? Which life is more important, mine or theirs? Some of you might be thinking that the girl was just trying to manipulate me to get her way. To some degree, that might be true. But to this day, that girl is alone. To this day, I'll get an occasional email from her saying how much she loves me, how much she misses me, and that she is still waiting for me. It's been over 15 years. Now, as creepy as that may be, I take the decision I made very, very seriously. It's a decision that I remember every single day of my life. I hope that I won't be stepping on anyone's toes by telling this to you. And I would tell this to my own children. You have to make your life the most important thing. When it comes to fulfilling your life, or simply satisfying someone else, you must live your own life. Because that other person will never be able to give you your life back. Now, I'm not telling you to be selfish. We all should give of ourselves, make a positive impact, and help as many people as possible. But before we can do that, we have to be self-important. Meaning, my life is most important. Selfishness is different, because if I'm selfish, I won't be at all concerned with helping others. Selfishness says, it's all about me, and I don't care who I hurt in order to make myself happy. Being self-important means that I focus on myself first, then I can focus on and help others. Firefighters, before they run into a burning building to save someone, they have to make sure they themselves can do so in a safe manner. If they are careless, and they are electrocuted, or a beam falls on their head, they won't be able to help anyone. They have to take care of themselves before they can take care of anyone else. Emergency room doctors often work 24 or 36 hours straight. The problem is if he is too tired to think straight, someone could die. That doctor has to take care of himself first and sleep so he can help others. You will have to focus on yourselves first before you can help others, before you can love your partner, before you can love your future children. Because you are that important.